Hey heroes, AK here. I'm back in my studio, and it occurred to me that I hadn't done a sort of talkie tutorial for a while. So I figure I'd give you my voice and my thoughts as I'm working here and producing. This tune is, right now it's called Samplitude because it is made entirely from samples. I tried not to use any MIDI in this project in an effort to just become more familiar with editing audio blobs and that sort of thing. And so I'll just narrate as I'm producing here. Sort of a typical intro for me. So definitely want to do something with that fill. Let's actually first address that. So what's going on into the fill? We got a nice little tail there. In fact, what I might do is just create a master track here on the end of everything and resample the last couple bars into the hit. Oops, not the drums, we want everything. Alright, cool. And then we're going to process this with some fun things. I might reverse it. Or maybe it'll be nice to keep that echoing with the other stuff. So I'm going to have the sends, and I have tons of sends here. I'm going to have the sends and this resampled master coming through at the same time. And let's try some overdrive. Let's try some phaser. Let's try some, we'll look at my inserts, something exciting. And typically what I like to do is like put a bunch of different effects in the chain, turn them all off, and then bring them in one by one to get sort of an interesting sound, or an interesting evolving sound. And let's do a cool filter. Maybe something that I don't use a lot, like FabFilter Volcano. Cool. So I'll turn these all off, and then in terms of staging, I think I'll probably want to do one of the high-low splits that I do, or that I've made, AK's perfect high-low split revised. And this will let me split the signal. I'm going to choose a crossover point around I think I just want the lows coming through clean, and I might even boost the volume up there. So let's hear what it sounds like with the boosted lows. Or it might even be cool if the lows swept up, because there aren't a lot of lows in that. And I might even do more to accentuate that. So like, let's open our lows, and all these effects are going to be for the highs. I don't really like to put too much on the lows. Let's maybe compress it, and we're going to use a compressor as an effect. So maybe it actually would be nice to use a compressor with a particular character. Vespers turned me on to the vintage warmer. I'll try the micro warmer because I'm not so good at using this one yet. But I basically want to up the drive and bring my threshold down. Where's my threshold? I want it post gain or pre. Still trying to figure out this tool. Let's try the presets. Those always help. Oh no, that's no help. Bank. I thought there would be presets here. I guess I don't have the right. Oh, here we go. Funky bass drum. Oh, that's cool. I like that pop. So I really, I like that, how that accentuates the lows and makes it punchy. So let's hear what that sounds like with everything. We get a nice little punch. mix is a little hot, so I'll bring the overall level down. Actually, I should probably do my gain staging at the end here. So I like to put a utility pretty much on the end of every track, which allows me to keep the fader at 0 for mixing at the end. It allows me to jack up the audio blob so I can see what's happening visually, and I just compensate here. So I think probably this has messed up my micro warmer settings because I'm now driving the compressor more. But I kind of like it. And maybe let's just also add a bit of saturation on the lows before the micro warmer. Lower bass frequency, or maybe no color. I like the color actually. We'll do it in parallel, maybe. Soft clipper's not doing anything. Alright, cool. Now let's really have fun with the highs. So I'll put my overdrive in. And I think it might be cool to have the dry wet sort of move so there's more and less distortion kind of sort of flowing in. And I'm going to take my grid off of triplets and actually dial this in rhythmically by turning on the metronome. And so that'll let me really think about my groove. And that's a nice little jam. Let's dial in some other parameters. That's kind of nice. I like it sort of directed there. Let's see what happens if we use a phaser now after that. It might be cool if the phaser is doing like the opposite, if the phaser dry wet is doing the opposite of the overdrive. So what I'll do here is I'll just sort of offset this so that it's sort of the opposite. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. Oh, that part's going to be cool. That's cool. I'm digging it. I might even put a utility on before the final utility so that I can not have this fade out so hard because it's sort of coming from, it was coming from a send, remember, so it was like having a decay effect. And I can sort of combat that in this way. And I should probably have the filter on the distortion move too. I kind of like that actually. That's nicer. Alright, now we're going to get crazy with the filter, I think. We might not use it. That's pretty harsh. What about in parallel? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I like that. And so it should probably, I'll show you what FabFilter's doing actually. It's a bandpass filter and it's moving the modulation, the frequency modulation with these two LFOs that are happening at the same time. That's why we're getting that cool ping-pong back and forth. And then I'm moving the filter frequency here. But I'm thinking, Yeah, it might be better to have that happen, to have that lower filter happen after most of the signal has happened. So yeah, that sounds pretty freaking cool. Let's hear it in context. All right, we did not have the low end. It's not bad, actually. I think I could still serve to boost my volume up more here and have that volume boost start sooner, actually, but happen a little bit slower. Soundflower. Maybe this could have a little cool stutter pattern too. The filter frequency. And maybe even like just tease it a little bit. That's a nice little original sound, and I might even be able to use some of those bleepity bloops as a synth later on in this track. So now that I'm happy with this process, I will boost the volume of this a little bit and then render it to audio. I don't think I'm going to create any clipping, but I'm doing this because I am inevitably, after this is frozen and flattened, I'll inevitably be putting utility afterwards and putting some headroom on it. So again, utility and probably an EQ just to be a little bit safe with my frequency. Let's take a look at what's happening here. So it got louder. That's cool because I'm going to put headroom on it. I think we could still help the low end a little bit. That seems to be nice, but not as dramatic. I'm not liking this frequency region. So now that we have this, we could cut it up further, or we could probably leave it as is. I'm going to, again, put more headroom here and adjust my gain. I think I might process this a little bit further. I'm just going to do this thing. I'm going to drop a saturator and clone it on the medium curve. Turn color off of both of these and use them in parallel. Yeah, that's nice, except way less parallel, so like 20% and 22%. And so I think this whole section could be louder too. No, we want that. That's nice. I don't like how suddenly this guy stops. Maybe if we sent him to like a grain delay or a reverb, a filter delay, grain delay. That's pretty sweet, I think. Let's listen from the intro. So this is introducing the first theme of the song, the verse. I'm going to save my progress as I listen back. So dig it, don't dig the first part. which is okay. We can still use this. I might warp it and pitch it a little bit. I'm hearing some pitching stuff. That like sounds like the right note, maybe. Maybe reverse this or something. Maybe like... Or maybe this should go first. Or maybe put some of this stuff. Just playing around with the reversed audio. And it's easier for me to see like what direction things are going. Because the audio is nice and fat like this. And I can send these little... Or even maybe... That's kind of cool, actually. So now what I'm hearing is like actually like 3 bass notes that would work there. Would be something like, I'll just mock it up by putting these here, muting these, and then maybe like, I guess I want these as individual hits, so I'll take that one. These are all the same, and lower it 12 decibels. Oh, actually, wait, they were all different. They were all different. This one was at 7, this one was 6, this one. So now... And we got Oligarch on that channel. That's why that's so badass. I don't know if this is going to work. That's kind of cool. Da-na-na-na. Maybe we could change the wet amount here of Oligarch so it's not cranking. That could work. Yeah, the phase isn't going to work for us, though. We need to reinforce that with a sub. And again, pretty easy to visually line these up here. Come on. Oh, I'm in triplets mode, that's why. Put this one here, put this one here. Oh, I need to be on triplets, I believe. No. Triplets. Just trying to line up this note and this hit. Doing a horrible job here. Sorry, guys. There we go. And I think really low. And then maybe even a little bit of pitch bendy with the anchor points. Nope, that's not an anchor point. That's an anchor point. That's cool. Maybe a curve here. What's going on out of this filter delay? Maybe move the filter width too, and the gain for sure. The gain's already as high as it's going to go. Still missing something to me. Maybe a top. Let's try using maybe the same thing on top, except what I will do is, well, create a new track, put this here, and high pass it. So now we have just the highs. Higher. And then maybe what we'll do is, instead of having them, maybe I'll warp them, or I'll just like freeze this so that I can warp them all together and do higher. And sort of start to get something good here with these different modes. Don't want to mess that up. Or maybe I do. That's kind of cool. It's just not perfect. So what I can do, sounds like it'll be cool if the flux modulation starts at the top and then goes down. So I can take this, boost up the volume a little bit, and then render it, effectively resampling in Ableton, and then I can play with this even more precisely. Come on, line it up. And what I want to do is probably just move this at a zero crossing to one of those hits in between. No, it's not going to work because I'm going off time a little bit. That's okay. Maybe a little bit off time. Ooh, this could be cool. Cool. getting real fine here. Let's also adjust this one too. It's not quite there. You'll hear it when it's there. Alright, so one thing I like to do to get it there is really just, this might freak us out here, but there it is. There, I like that better. Just really hurting us here. There we go. We're almost there, I think. I think that'll do it. And then, you know, this entire 27 or 35-minute video is probably what it's going to end up being. It's just going to be about this one little transition. Time well spent, right? You know what? You know what? This could be crazy. Or maybe I should reverse this and get... Come on, move over. There we go. I'm happy with that. So now we got some mixing problems because we're peaking here. And I think it should be noted that I am often putting on my master a little utility that puts 6 dB of gain. That way, like when it's ready to mix, or when I'm ready to mix, I just turn this off and it's pretty much mixed. It's really nice. Anyway, I like to just make sure I'm not peaking my session when I do this. That way everything is sort of mixed to -6 as a ceiling. So what's probably going on here is the vocals are just too loud. They're up to 8. The sub is pretty loud too. But they shouldn't really be louder than the drums. That's a mistake. So rather than just turning the volume down, what I might do is throw an EQ on here. It looks like I have Alloy doing some some shite. Alright, so it's funny, this is probably similar to the EQ shape that I'm about to draw, but maybe I'll draw something different after seeing what this sounds like in this EQ. I think that relaxes it nicely. I think the low end is not really helping us, to be perfectly honest. Let's see if that did anything for the volume. A little bit. That's not too bad. It fits better too, I think. Might even just cut in the traditional cutting range here. Alright, so I feel better about that. What happens after this verse? We got a little break coming. Alright, so we go into some drop after. It might be nice to actually bring some of the elements back from the elements we worked so hard on here from the resampled master for this break. So let's just... Let me just bring the clean thing. Maybe try reversing this one. And let's, like, stutter it. Let's pitch it, too. I like this one here. Actually want it a little bit later though. Almost, not quite. That's a nice little effect, and in fact this really doesn't need to go on here. It actually should probably go in, it probably should go in effects, to be perfectly honest. Looks like this is my hella effects section anyway. So I'll create a new track, drop these on there. Unless there's anything on this that's, it's that double saturator. You know what? I want to keep that processing, so I'll just quickly resample it by soloing this one and doing this. It's nice, little echo on it. Don't know if I want that. And what's nice is I can now like see this and see that it's quieter, and even see where it's off, so I could like put it on that 16th, oops, put it on the 16th grid here. And even make a little beat with it. Come on back. There we go. That sounds a little groovier. nice glitch pattern here. Oops. Can't hear myself. Now I can. I actually like it better there. Maybe just not do quite as many hits here. Like, not do this first hit, just do the last two. Send this guy to a delay. Can barely hear it. Yeah, it's not helping. 16ths. That's what it's gonna be. These are monster samples. Alright, so we gotta address this drop because it's pretty plain and boring. I do like the horn though, and I kind of want it to, like, the second time around sort of repeat out. So let's get the drums and horn going because those are sort of our core elements, and then we'll add the bass. It's not quite there, is it? There we go. That's cool. Let's add this. So now I want it to do, like, and it's just my cat. It's kind of cool. Wow, wow. Does this have any processing on it? It should have some processing. Get out Alloy, which has sort of been my Swiss Army knife as of late, because it's just got so many great presets for very subtle but effective things, and they're great jumping off points, so I don't have to do a lot of processing. So I'm actually going to process this like an acoustic guitar. Ah, it's so good. It's already so good. I don't even need to do anything. Listen to this. Let's lower the sustain. Tame that a little bit. I'm gonna go a more compressed sound. That sounds good to me. And then maybe we could even, like, dial this sound in. So does Alloy have like a dry wet that I can use? Global bypass, a module. It has a bypass, but does it have a dry wet? Global, no. Overview. That's okay. Maybe I'll just, like, raise the exciter over time. Let's make sure it's... Yeah, it sounds fine in the break. That doesn't sound like it's doing anything, does it? It's distorting the narrowest band here. So that's pretty stupid and gonna have to stop right now. Clear envelope. Let's try another one of these. Maybe I don't really hear much of a difference, to tell you the truth. I'm not going to mess with it. Let's get it in sequencing. So we're going to do that again, for sure. Maybe we go descending down. Is that too crazy to do? So maybe we'll do that right before we go back into the verse. And so I'll delete this bit, and then I'll duplicate this section, and then I will take this section and clear it out, and then duplicate this section. So now what we have is like our A section, and then our A section again. And maybe we'll mute that one. And then we have our descending line. Cool. So this is something to work with in terms of bass. And do we have any synths going on? Oh, oops. It's not much though. That's nice. We'll change this up a little bit. That's kind of cool. It's like super dark and uses tritones and is super weird, but that's sort of like what I'm into sometimes. I think maybe for this I'll use something else or nothing at all. Kind of like this one. I think it's cool. And what time are we at? 46 minutes. I probably shouldn't do the bass. I probably should stop. Alright, well, I'm going to practice some kind of healthy producer habit, which I definitely do not have, but anyway, I'm going to make a note to myself. So the next time I open this project up, I know exactly where to start. I'm going to make it red, and I'm going to call it redo the base. It stinks. And I'll save this project on this view so that the next time I load it up, I'll dial in the bass, maybe even some sub, and we'll get through this tune. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this production session with me. Thank you for sticking along to the end, and I hope you learned some useful things along the way. Check me out, aktunes.com. See you next time, guys.